Okay, so we left off with my sister and Wendy, my pastor's wife, at the foot of my bed. And so the next, I see them there. I realize they're in the room. Now, mind you, I had just, at some point in time, right before then, went through the whole undertaker and praying business. And so for no less than an hour or more. Now, mind you, I'm intubated. Okay, so I have a tube down my throat. I mean, it's probably bigger than that, but okay, it's probably like this. Okay, so I've got this tube down my throat. I'm saying, Mom, 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 for like I can't even tell you how long. Can you not tell that I am saying Mom? I was so furious at my sister for not getting that I needed my mother. No lie. I was like so mad at her for taking so long. So like hours later, finally, I mean, maybe it wasn't hours, but to me it seemed like forever. So finally my sister says, "Are you saying Mom?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, I am." I'm of course not saying that, but She said, "Mom went home to change her clothes and take a shower, and she'll be back shortly." I'm like, "No, of course I'm not moving because I can't move because I had to relearn how to walk and talk and eat and hold things, and I lost all mobility. I had nothing. I had to relearn how to do everything again. Not talk clearly, but walk and eat and hold things and kind of talk because whatever. So they had tried to give me a pen and paper to write out what I was trying to say. Now I could not write Mom. It just looked like chicken scratch. It didn't look like anything. And I was so mad at myself that I couldn't write out Mom. But finally she gets it. And she's like, "Okay, I'll call Mom. Calm down. I'll call Mom." It took my mom another 3 hours to get there. Now, she only lives one town away. She had went home not thinking I was going to wake up. Mind you, it's been months. So they've grown accustomed to me being in a coma, right? She had went home to dye her hair and take a shower and was in the middle of the process, and she told my sister Wanda, she's like, "I got dye on my hair. Let me get it out, get my hair done, and I'll be down there, whatever." So, it was 10 o'clock at night by the time my mother gets there. And all was right with the world. And she was like, "Baby, I know you're sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're sorry. We're sorry. It's over. Drop it." And immediately, a peace came over me. Calm came over me. And I was like, "Okay, good. Because if I die, I'm good." And so the next thing I remember was being afraid again because someone had come in and, was walking at the foot of my bed and I didn't know them. And I thought, "Oh my God, the undertaker's back to get me, Well, I just got everything under the blood. I should have just had peace. But it freaked me out. I'm scared, whatever. Well, it was my respiratory therapist. His name is Bo. He took care of me the entire time since I woke up. But he had this big old long beard, and I don't know, he just freaked me out, right? Well, once I knew him and was good and awake, it was fine. But just waking up from a coma where you had just saw the enemy come to take your life, Gina saw the enemy. That's all she got to say. And so Bo the Undertaker became, I call him the Undertaker the whole time I was there because he'd just laugh. Thought it was hilarious. So that was the 22nd of February, 2001. And I was awake now and learning all kinds of things that had happened to me. and trying to regain mobility and understand a little bit more of what had happened. Well, both of my lungs had collapsed, and on the 7th, January 7th, they had shared with me that, both my lungs had collapsed, all my bodily organs had stopped, and not only, when your lungs collapse, they harden, they die. And again, I'm just going by what they said. I'm not a medical person, I don't know. And so the next thing I remember was, Bo had freaked me out, and so, but I had fallen back asleep, and I woke up and everything was black. The whole room was black. It must have been, late midnight or so. My parents were gone again, and Bo had left and turned out the light so I could rest. And it was dark when I woke up, and it scared me so bad. So bad. I looked down on the left-hand side of me. Believe me or not, I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you believe. I know what I saw. At the foot of my bed, on the left-hand side, Jesus was there praying for me. I never got to see his face, but I knew it was him. I could tell it was him. I could feel it was him. And every single time I woke up alone and afraid from that day forward, until I was up and mobile and moving on, he was there, protecting me and being with me. I was already awake. There was no dreaming. There was no coma state. I've already been awake and have memories and spoken with my pastor's wife and my sister and my parents and my husband and I'm awake. This really, really, really happened. And I'm still intubated. Can't talk yet. But, when I say spoken, I mean yes and no. And, they're talking to me, explaining things to me so I understand. So this is like maybe day 2 or day 3 of Jesus being there with me. Well, by day 3, I have this moment of clarity in my mind that they're lying to me. They're not telling me the truth, because I still can't see out of this eye. And it hits me. You've been in a car wreck. And that was what that falling down that building was. You went off a bridge and you wrecked your car, and that's what all of this is. And Drew died in that car accident, and that's why you haven't seen him. Because I'd had that first day with my sister and my pastor's wife, my parents, my husband. The next day, my younger sister and all of her kids came, and my cousin came, which is a whole nother story. My cousin Diane had come and went, and another night went by, so that's night number 2, and now we're on day 3, and here comes my sister again with her kids. Not one time had I seen my kid. So in my mind, I'm believing that my son is dead. I didn't tell no one. I can't tell no one. I can't explain to them how I'm feeling, that I don't believe you. I know Drew's dead or he would be here. And I've killed him, and the whole right side of my face is gone. And I couldn't explain to them why I'm so agitated and upset is because my child isn't here. And you people aren't helping me. You're not saying anything. You're not consoling me. You're not, it's going to be okay. No, nothing. Not one word about my child. Till the 3rd day. And my sister walks in again, and she walks in, and nothing. Not a word about my kid, just her kids. And so she's there, and then walks in my girlfriend Kim and her daughter Misty, who is at that time my son's girlfriend. And I think, oh my God, this is it. Just put me out of my misery, because I don't want to be here no more. I don't know why no one's talking to me about my own kid and what happened and why you're lying to me. And I mean, I had built this up for 3 days that they were lying to me, that he was gone, and my body couldn't take it, and they weren't telling me, and so my girlfriend and her daughter were in there. Misty was in there, and they were just shooting the breeze like nothing. Like, we're so glad you're up and well, and, acting like they weren't really upset. And I'm like, I'm stressing completely out because they're acting like, we're so glad. And I'm dying. And in walks my child with 2 drinks in his hand that he had stopped to get them. There is nothing in the world like thinking your child is gone. Nothing. And all was right with the world from that point on. Gina just got better and better because I didn't kill my kid. They were telling me the truth. And Jesus was really there helping me, because I think he knew I needed it, because for those days, he was my support, because I was like, you have my baby now, and I need you to protect him. And well, what had happened was every single time I had woken up was when he came. I mean, when I was asleep was when he came. So I didn't see him. The first night he was already taken home. The second whole day, I guess I was asleep when he came, because he said he was there, and my husband said he was there, but I didn't get to see him, and no one was saying anything about him. And so this third day, when he walks in with his girlfriend, or his girlfriend was in there, and that kind of just sealed the deal for me, that they would come in without him, because that was just weird. And then he comes in with these drinks. Such a sight that clarity hits you right then. You're like, okay, you really are ill. Everybody's alive and well, and you're fine, and you're going to get through this. And okay, so then my husband gets there, and so by this time, I'm thinking, I can write. I think I can write and make it legible. So I get him to give me this tablet again, and I write what I'm thinking: thought Drew dead, seen Drew. Something of that nature, something like that. Well, I didn't write that, apparently, because he kept saying, baby, I can't understand you. I don't know what you're trying to say. I can't help you. If I could help you, I would help you. And so I'm going to back up a little bit and get off Drew, so you know about Drew. That was my experience with Drew. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story about the first time I woke up. That wasn't the time that my sister and Wendy were in the room. The next time I woke up, my girlfriend Carla was in the room. This was probably on day 2, I'm guessing. Or it might even been that same night. I'm not sure. Again, I don't really know. But I woke up, and my girlfriend Carla was sitting there. And behind her was this man who looked like my husband, yet he was completely white-headed and really round-faced man. And so I'm looking at Carla, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at Carla, and I'm looking at him, and I knew Carla. I knew Carla. But I'm looking at him, and she was like, "What are you looking at, baby?" And so I keep looking at him, She goes, "Do you not know Tom?" And so immediately I guess I went like that. And my husband had aged in 2 months, 15 years. He went from being, normal 30-something-year-old man to, wow, you look like a completely different person. I mean, I didn't even know it was him. His face was so swollen, and his hair was white, like white. And he still jokes with me about that every day. I mean, every time he thinks about it, he's all, "You put this white hair on my head. You stressed me out. You caused me to look like an old man." Which is, I guess, true. I mean, he started going gray really young, as a young guy, but he was like, lost all the color in his hair while I was sleeping. So, and he had a KB Home jacket on. That's what he worked for at the time, and it was big and bulky. It was black, and of course I'm probably a little distorted, because I'd just woken up from a weeks-long coma, weeks and weeks, and but his face and his hair, I couldn't really tell it was him. I mean, it was terrible, but as soon as I did know, things were better. So then I told him I'm going to tell you these things kind of out of order because I remember them kind of out of order, when I remember them at all. There's some things that I still don't remember. I go by memories from other people. So anyways, that night I went back to sleep in the middle of the night, and I had this very, very strange dream about, now this is kind of a funny story. I mean, I don't know, that was probably drugs. I'm guessing it was drugs. I had this strange dream where my cousin Diane, who had came in and visited me, was my protector. She was a protector, and she had a gun, and she was protecting. She was out, like she was protecting in the hospital for me. So I wake up, and my husband's laying there sleeping. Well, he's not laying, but in the chair beside me sleeping, and I'm like, "I'm Diane," I'm still intubated. "I'm Diane," "I'm Diane." He was like, "You want Diane?" And I'm like, "I want Diane." I made him get Diane out of bed and come to the hospital in the middle of the night because she was my protector. My husband's sitting right there. I'm telling you, crazy things happen when you're in a coma. I'm not lying. Crazy, crazy things. So yeah, she had to come sit down there with me because she was protecting me from what I don't know, but she was. So that was kind of the thing that I remember about that next night. And so the whole next day, she just stayed with me the whole time, and while he was at work. And it was almost like when he wasn't there, I needed Diane from that point forward, because in my mind, she was protecting me from the bad guys. Because in my mind, once I realized it wasn't Drew, see, this is how the enemy messes with you. He just gets you off on tangents. So in my mind, once I realized I wasn't in a car wreck, Drew was alive, but I was in there, I thought it was from the robbery. I was distorted, and she was protecting me from the bad guys. So she had to be there when he wasn't there, protecting me from a gun that she don't have and would never carry to the hospital anyways. So stupid, stupid, stupid. Funny, stupid things. But we weren't at the hospital we were at. We were at another, like, convalescent-y type hospital in Turlock, in 3 towns away, in this other place. And that is so not true. Not that is true. But in my head, that's what we did. And there was the reason why she was there protecting me, because there was gunshots. And because I needed Diane, was because people were shooting guns. It's crazy. I'm just telling you. Your mind does crazy, crazy things. And so, I was going to tell you something else about that. But, so there we are. So now Diane's my protector. We're 20 minutes in again. And I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and see if we can move forward with next week. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am really enjoying telling the story. I haven't told it in a long, long time. Long time, years and years. I'm sure there's probably things I'm forgetting that I should be adding, but next week's is going to be interesting because it starts the healing process, and boy, was that a process. So I'll start talking about that as soon as I get this one set up. Okay, talk to you later.